In the hustle and bustle of the City of London, life moves at a frantic pace. In this ultra-competitive environment, workers strive for success and literally give their heart and soul to their careers. Julian is 38 and has worked in the city for the last 10 years. He's been diagnosed with high cholesterol, yet is determined to stay healthy and reduce his risk of heart disease.
There's good money to be earned here, but it's money earned at a cost. My job as a recruitment manager is a high-pressured role. We work very long hours. Mark, can I have those reports for early next week, please, and day after tomorrow? Yeah.
Do it quick on that as well?
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure with regards to the sales from my company, but also personal pressure that I put on myself to hit my targets and earn the income that I am used to.
So looking at Julian's health assessment, he's 38, and the things that leap out for me are that he's got a family history of heart disease, he smokes and has done for 15 years, and he's also got a raised cholesterol problem.
I think my lifestyle is typical of many who work in the city.
Julian's stress levels are very sporadic. They have their really key moments where he is very highly stressed, which involves moments of like not talking, going out on the balcony to have a cigarette, and not eating very well.
I started smoking when I was 23, and it's part of the relaxation routine, I guess.
Although many people have a cigarette to help them cope with stress and to reduce their anxiety, all the scientific evidence suggests that it actually has the opposite effect. We know that when somebody smokes, their stress hormones increase rather than go down, their pulse rates and their blood pressure go up. So paradoxically, although people feel that smoking is a good thing for stress, it actually has the opposite effect.
A much more effective stress buster, and one that will help to reduce his risk and control his cholesterol level, is exercise. Fortunately, something that Julian gets plenty of.
I work very hard at staying fit. Staying fit is important for me to function properly and also deal with the stress. I'm very aware of the link between high cholesterol and coronary heart disease, particularly with the lifestyle that I do lead. My uncle dying young at 55 through problems with his heart. I was genuinely surprised that he had died so young. When I spoke to the doctor and he said I had high cholesterol, I did think back to my uncle, and it made me understand that it was time to have a look at myself and have a think about modifying my life rather than ignoring it and trying to give myself the best chance in the future.
The fact that Julian recognizes his lifestyle is placing his health at risk and is serious about making some changes is a great first step. He currently dines out at expensive restaurants around 6 times a week and finds it difficult to know which dishes will not increase his cholesterol. As poor eating habits often contribute to high cholesterol, Julian seeks the advice of dietitian Asmina Govinji.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Very good.
It's a lovely place, isn't it? Gorgeous.
When I'm in restaurants, I just go for the tastiest thing on the menu that I think is good. So
give me an example of what you think the tastiest thing might be.
Right, well, I usually start with something like the grilled sausages, grilled garlic sausages,
okay,
or even the deep-fried squid. That looks particularly good.
What do you think of those choices?
I think potentially the grilled sausages would be better for me than the deep-fried squid.
Although the sausages are grilled, they're actually quite high in salt and probably high in saturated fat as well. And I understand your cholesterol tends to fluctuate quite a bit, so making the right choices to help reduce that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I like the look of the lamb shank with a side of steamed potatoes, butter and dill, and mushrooms and spinach. Looks excellent.
Well, they sound absolutely delicious, and on an occasion that would be fine. I think my slight concern is that you are eating out so often So you said a hot starter of the calamari. A couple of choices here. You could go for squid, but ask for it to be cooked in a different way so it's not fried. Worth a try.
Okay.
Or choose something else that isn't going to be deep fried and actually will positively influence your health. Then you chose the lamb, which great meat and, you know, hopefully it would be lean. But what I would worry about there is the portion size, because a lamb shank is quite generous, isn't it? Yeah. So is there something else that we could change that to that you would be happy with, but there wasn't such a huge portion of meat?
Yeah, the breast of chicken, grilled, marinated, or the breast of chicken with potatoes and tomatoes, I guess.
Right. Both really good choices. You've chosen chicken breast, low in fat, hopefully it doesn't have a skin on it. And you said you would probably accompany that with some potatoes with butter and dill.
Yes.
I think you know that the butter is probably not the best choice, delicious though it is.
Yes.
So is there something else that you know would be much more health promoting?
Steamed vegetables could be good, and then potentially the lentils.
That sounds like really good choices. And does that sound like it would fill you up?
It does.
And you'd be happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. Should we get the motor over then?
Absolutely. Cholesterol's only really come into my consciousness over the last 5 years because of the television ads. Prior to that, I hadn't heard of it at all. Is it primarily on diet, or is it the drinking, also a smoker as well?
I think you probably know that if you were to do one thing, it would be to stop smoking. That would make the biggest difference to preventing any heart problems. Then when it comes to cholesterol, the main foods you need to consider are the fact that the saturated fats raise your cholesterol.
Right.
Unsaturated, such as the olive oil, rapeseed oil, avocado, lower your cholesterol.
Okay.
And interestingly, we mentioned lentils. Lentils actually help to lower your cholesterol, so beans and pulses, and also porridge. Great breakfast to have. Thank you. And what we've got here is the oily fish with the omega-3s. You've got your protein there, that's my protein. Lots of vegetables. This is how food should look. Great fibre, great vitamins, all good foods that help to protect you against heart disease. And eating healthily, actually, can lower your blood cholesterol by 5 to 10%.
Okay.
So it's quite significant, really, just by making these sorts of choices.
So for Julian's choices to make a significant impact on his high cholesterol level, he needs to reduce his trans fats, things like biscuits and pastries. He also should cut down on his saturated fats, like butter, and opt for those containing monounsaturated fats, like olive oil, and polyunsaturated, like sunflower oil.
So I suppose you'd eat in a restaurant like that, what, about twice a week?
Yep, twice a week.
And then
Now
what do you
Julian
want
is
on
equipped with the knowledge to make healthy choices at client lunches. How will he fare on other days, when there's only time for a sandwich at his desk?
My local in here. After you.
As Mina takes him to his local sandwich bar to check tomorrow's lunch is going to be a healthy one.
The main menu, I generally go for the specials, and the special I generally like is the panini with pepperoni and mozzarella. But what I'll do today is I'll change my choice to some skinless chicken, some salad, and I think I'll go for a wholemeal bap.
Did you want any butter?
No, thank you.
This is very impressive. I'm really pleased with that. What you've done there is you started off with high saturated fat in the mozzarella, high saturated fat in the pepperoni, and you changed that to a low fat chicken. You said no to butter. Very impressive. And would you normally have some crisps or a drink or something with that?
I usually go with maybe a latte to take away.
The bits that we consider to be side orders and less important are contributing quite significantly. If you think of your latte, it's got a lid on there. You don't really realise about a third or more of that is milk. Very likely to be whole milk.
Okay.
So that's contributing to your saturated fat. What you could do actually is ask if they would do you a latte with skim milk.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, after that...
I think if Julian seriously takes on the advice to eat less saturated fat, consider stopping smoking, which would be great. If he can do those things, he could significantly reduce his blood cholesterol and therefore reduce his risks of developing heart disease.
Here's our top 5 tips for controlling your cholesterol. Cut down on saturated fats and trans fats. Replace saturated fats. use monounsaturated and polyunsaturated instead. Eat whole grain and high soluble fiber foods. Keep to a healthy weight. This will help control your blood cholesterol. Be physically active. This will help lower your blood cholesterol.